Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so tell me what's the update? What has been going on in the school so far? Which chapters have been done? Give me the
Sir,
updates.
the exam was over last week.
Hanvi, your voice is not coming properly. Please repeat again
The
and come
exam
closer
was
to the exam is over. Okay,
over, and
and
then after that, ma'am started colon petroleum. Only it had been 2 days since she started colon petroleum.
okay, colon petroleum has been started.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, all right. Okay, I remember the last time we had the class. There we were doing the chapter crop production and management in the batch, right? In the not in the batch, but in the one-to-one class. Okay, so you will be added into the batch in the batch. All right, and in the batch right now we are doing a chapter called as Age of Adolescence. The chapter name is Age of Adolescence. Okay, now that chapter is right now going on.
Okay, sir.
When is the when did you give the exam? When was the last exam?
Sir, last exam was on Thursday, sir. We have 2 more exams to be completed.
Oh, okay. Two more exams are left to be completed.
Yes, sir. Hindi and social is there.
Hindi and social science. Okay, okay. What?
Science is
Uh-huh.
like we had science is over. We had like it was our second exam. No, it was our first exam. Sorry.
Okay. Can you tell me which chapters came in your science exam, just to keep a record?
There was one second.
Hmm.
There was a crop production, microorganism, and
Mm-hmm.
coal and petroleum.
Coal and petroleum. Okay.
No, sir, sorry, she started not control. She started this force and friction. I got confused between this.
Oh, okay. No, it is force and pressure. All right.
Yes, sir.
So force and pressure has been started actually. Okay, it came in the exam. It came in the exam. Okay, okay. Coal and
Okay, what
petroleum has
happened
been
in
started.
that
Mm-hmm. Okay, I got it.
time?
Okay.
Petroleum came in the exam and force and friction has been started.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Earlier you told me. All right, got it, got it. Force and pressure has been started, and coal and petroleum came in the exam. Okay. So what we can do? See, we just had started this chapter Age of Adolescence in the batch. All right now. So I think it would be suitable to add you in the batch and continue with this chapter that is Age of Adolescence. Okay.
Okay.
Huh. And do you have any updates on your upcoming exams, like when the next exam is going to be? Although it might be a bit early to ask, you might not have got updates. Have you?
Next science exam.
Yeah.
Sir, let me just check. So, 1 second. I'll take my diary.
Okay, please check it. You might have got updates like um, about the half yearly exam. You must have got the date sheet, I think.
Half yearly, right? Year one, half yearly. Half yearly examination. Science. Sir, science will be on 12/10/2025, sir.
Okay,
12/10/2025.
okay, okay. 12th of October. Mm-hmm. Are
12th
the
of October.
okay. Are the chapter names also mentioned?
Sir, we have to check the breakup syllabus. 1 second, sir.
Okay, okay.
Breakup syllabus is in this. Oh my God. Sir, do you want me to send you the pic or do you want me to read the lessons out for you?
You can read the lessons to me. I can just write it down here.
Okay, sir.
Hmm.
English, maths, science, we have crop production and management, microorganisms, front and fro, and then
Hmm.
coal and petroleum, force and friction,
Okay.
force and friction, and then wait, fourth one, combustion of flames.
Combustion and flames. Combustion
Yeah, wait,
and flames.
one, two, three, four. Why are the chapters so confusing?
Hmm.
One, two, three. Yeah, so coal and petroleum. Force and friction is chapter 8. Yeah, it is there. Combustion and flames is there. And then chapter 9. What is chapter 9? There is no chapter 9.
Hmm. Chapter number 9.
8 and 9.
What's the chapter
So
name?
1, 2,
Read
3,
out the
4.
chapter name.
6 is not there. 6, 7.
Hmm. Yes, Hanvi?
No, 6 will come in PT2. So half yearly will get 100. Oh my gosh, why is this so confusing? I need my laptop. Wow.
Okay, Hanvi, do one thing. Just click the picture and send it to the counselor. Okay. Can you send it right now to him?
So can you like send me a hi? Because last time also I sent it to the wrong
Actually,
student.
actually, the administration, the Learnivio team, will be able to text you. Okay, and not me. Getting it? So you need to send a message to them, or do one thing by the end of the class. Make sure to drop a message to them. Okay, make sure to
Okay, okay,
send them.
okay. Let me
Or I,
just check it
or
in
I
the
will.
book. Notebook, it will be a bit clear. So,
Okay.
sir, we have crop production, microorganisms, coal and petroleum.
Force and
Come
friction.
chapter 5 is there?
Hmm.
No, chapter 5 is not there. Chapter 4 is there. Combustion and flames. And then reproduction is
Hanvi, do one thing. Do one thing. You can click the picture, and even right now here in the meeting, you can send me. Okay, na?
force and pressure and friction is there, sir.
Will you be able?
Force and pressure, friction,
Hmm?
combustion and flames.
Okay, that's it. Or are there any more chapters?
Including these three chapters, crop production and management, microorganisms, coal and
Hmm.
petroleum, combustion of flames, and force and pressure.
Okay,
That's it,
that's
right?
it. That's it.
Combustion of flames, one second,
In total, there are 5 chapters.
and friction.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I have noted it down, Hanvi. Only 5 chapters, right?
No, sir. One,
Then,
two, three, four, five, six. 9 is also there.
okay, okay. Are only the chapter numbers mentioned, or the chapter name is also mentioned in the portion?
The like the
It looks to me
uh,
only the chapter number is mentioned in that from wherever you are
yes,
reading.
and then we'll have on the side like the chapter names, all one, two, three, four, then. But then I think like they kept the wrong numbers because this time the textbook changed and
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of chapters got omitted, but then they
Mm-hmm.
probably did not like
Okay, Hanvi, do one thing. Do one thing. Listen. Next time when you go
yes.
to the school, please get a list of all the chapters. Okay, na? Please get this
Okay, sir.
confusion sort out. Ask your teacher, ask your subject teacher. Please get a list of the chapters that is going to be coming in the final in the half yearly exams. All right,
Yes,
let's
sir.
start the class. Okay, turn your camera on. Okay,
So
so the
one second,
chapter.
sir. Let me open from
Okay,
my laptop. One
okay,
second.
okay. Meanwhile, listen to me also. What I'm going to say. Okay, so in the chapter age of adolescence, see right now we see that you kids are like in the age group of like you might be around 12, 13, 14 years of age right now. So the children start in the age group of between 12 to 18 years, between 10, 11, 12, between 11, 12 to 18 years of age, right? So
Yes, sir.
in this period of time, their body goes through significant physical changes, right now. The body goes through significant physical changes. Not only the physical changes, but the body also goes through some psychological changes also, right? The way how they think, it changes, right? The way how they interact with their friends, with their families, it changes and it develops.
Huh?
Getting it? Yes, Hanvi. So during this age group between 12 to 18 years of age, children should be going through different changes in their body. Okay, now, right? So we'll be learning about the different changes that occurs at that happens in the body, right? Then we'll be learning about the sexual characteristics, like what are the sexual characteristics that develops in the adolescents, right? What are the primary sexual characteristics? What are the secondary sexual characteristics that develops in them? Getting it? Further, we'll be learning about what are hormones and what are the role of hormones. Most, where are you, Hanvi? Yes, Hanvi. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, your voice is better now. So what are we saying that?
Sir,
Oh, okay.
I connected to headphones.
Yeah, it's better. Always connect to a headphone. Okay, na? Always
Yes,
make
sir.
sure to connect with a headphone. Yeah. So we are seeing that basically between the age of 12 years to 18 years, right? It's a period of transition from childhood to adulthood, right? Now, it's a period of
Yes, sir.
transition from childhood to adulthood, right? And at this time, various biological and psychological changes occurs in the body of the childrens, right? Now, it's
Yes.
a time period of rapid growth. This rapid amount of growth in the body, like the height increases, right? Now, the muscle mass in the body increases. Getting it? Plus,
Yes, sir.
other than that, there are so many other changes. Not only the height increases the muscle mass, but also the in boys, for example, this appearance of facial hairs, mustaches, beard, right? Hairs in the
Yes, sir.
armpits, right? Similar kind of change, some kind of changes happens in the girls' bodies as well. So you are going to learn about those biological changes that happens in them. What is the cause behind them? Like there are certain chemical substances called as hormones which are responsible for the different changes that is taking place in the body. Other than that, we see that they go through psychological changes also, right? Now, so
Yes,
it
sir.
will be a stage of rapid growth, right? That will begin around the age of 11 years and will last up to 18 or 19 years of age. And this period basically covers the teen, like 13 to 18 or 19 years of age. So thereby the adolescents are also called as teenagers. Getting it now?
Yes, sir.
So that will be our discussion in the chapter. Like we are going to learn about some of the important stuffs, like what is adolescence, okay, what are the physical changes that takes place in the body, like there is rapid growth that we call as growth spurt. Then we're going to learn about the development of secondary sexual characteristics in their body, like what is sexual characteristics and what are the secondary sexual characteristics, which we'll be learning about that. Then, as I was saying that there's a cause behind all the changes that takes place in the body, like there's sudden increase in the height in the muscles, right? The psychological changes that takes place in the body, the development of sexual characteristics that takes place. So all of them are caused due to hormones. So we're going to learn about like what are the hormones, huh? Right? From which part of the body they are secreted. Then we're going to learn about the emotional and mental changes. Then further we'll be learning about reproductive health and the hygiene. What are the nutritional needs of the adolescents? Right now, children under the age of like 12 to 18 years, their nutritional requirement is high. Since the body is in the phase of rapid growth, Right now, the body is rapidly growing. So the nutritional demand is more, right? That's why we
Yes,
see
sir.
that if kids of the age 12 to 18, they are not provided with sufficient amount of nutrition, they can be malnourished, right? And their growth will be hampered, right? Then we'll be learning about social and peer influence, importance of the education, key takeaways, and the healthy choices that one should make. So that is basically the structure of the chapter which we're going to discuss here. Let us start with the very first topic, that is adolescence. Okay, now we're going to learn about the adolescence. But before that, we know that
Ah,
Hanvi pay attention in the here in the class.
yes,
Okay.
sir.
So I was saying that animals as well as the human beings, they in their lifetime can reproduce only after a certain age of time has passed in their life, right? Like once they have grown up into adults, then they are capable of reproduction. They can give birth to new offsprings. Okay, now why so?
Okay, sir.
Because of changes in hormones in the body that makes them capable of reproduction. Because once they have attained a certain age in their life, their reproductive organs have fully developed right now, and they are said to be reproductively mature. Getting at what I'm saying so far, right?
Yes, sir.
Mhm. Talking about adolescence, as the chapter name is Age of Adolescence, right now, so we must understand the chapter name first. Like, what does adolescence mean? Hmm?
Yes, sir.
So it's a time period in the life when the body is leading towards reproductive maturity. Like by looking at this image here, the child is not reproductively mature. Right now, they cannot give birth to offsprings. So basically, the child is going through a phase of transition. They are slowly turning into an adult, right? They will reach a certain age in their life when they will be reproductively mature, meaning that their reproductive organs have fully developed and they start releasing the sex cells. Getting it? So that is what adolescence is. It's a time period in life when the body is leading towards reproductive maturity and experience some changes. So adolescence, you should understand like it's a phase. It's not one particular age. It's not like 12 years, 13 years, 14 years. No. It's a phase of transition actually. It's a period of transition between childhood to adulthood. Getting it?
Yes,
Like
sir.
it typically begins by the age of 10 to 11 years, right? And
Yes, sir.
sorry, and continues till 18 to 19 years of age. So it's a phase of
Ah,
transition. Phase of transition. So children of the age 10 to 11 or less than that, we will call them as kid or basically children.
yes,
Particularly,
sir.
we use the word children for them. And when they have turned 18 or to 19 years, we call them as adults now, right?
Yes, sir.
Adults. So basically, there's a transition from childhood to the adulthood. So this time period, we are calling this as adolescence. Getting it? And
Yes, sir.
it may vary in different individuals. Like in some of them, this adolescence may start earlier. By like for some of them, it may start as early as 9 years. By the age of 9 years, they may start to observe some changes in the body. But for some, it might be delayed. Like they may start to feel changes in the body, increase in the height, the development of muscles, change in voice, etc. By the age of 12 or 13 years. Getting it? So it can vary on vary in different individuals. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Hmm. And the adolescence period includes the teenage, and therefore adolescents are often called as teenagers, right now. Just like you will be called a teenager right now, because you are
Yes, sir.
also in between the age group of 10 years, 10, 11 years to 18 or 19 years, right?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So in this period of transition between childhood and adulthood, a person would be having different kind of physical change. It would be experiencing physical changes, emotional and social changes as they will be growing and will be developing. It typically begins by this age and ends by this age. So here the body is getting matured and developing the ability to reproduce. Getting it now?
Yes, sir.
Before the age of 10 years, they were not reproductively mature. But after it, they are moving towards being reproductively mature. Like, even if they are like 12, 13 years, the body is not said to be reproductively mature right now. After a certain
Yes.
period of time, the body becomes reproductively mature, right? So when we talk about this thing, that when does the human beings become capable of reproduction, human beings or the animals become capable of reproduction, then we should discuss about puberty. Because puberty is the time period in the life when animals and human beings become capable of reproduction, right? And the
Yes, sir.
changes that are occurring during the adolescent age are the indication that an individual is reaching puberty. Okay, na? Like an individual, it's not necessary that an individual becomes reproductively mature only by the age of 18 or 19 years. In fact, they become reproductively mature before the age of 18 to 19 years. Getting it now, Hanvi? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So that is puberty we have. So there's a slight difference between puberty and adolescence. Okay, now let me just quickly conclude what we have learned about adolescence and puberty so far. About the adolescence, I told you that it's a period of transition from childhood to adulthood, during which various biological and psychological changes occurs in the body. It's a stage of rapid growth and development which begins around the age of 10 to 11 years and lasts up to 18 or 19 years. Getting it? This is adolescence, right?
Yes, sir.
And as for the puberty, I told you that the human body, it undergoes several changes during adolescence. When they are of the age like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, like that. So their body is undergoing several changes that makes them reproductively mature. So the age at which the male sex hormones and the female sex hormones begins to be produced, then the boy is biologically ready to become a father and the girl is biologically ready to become a mother. So that is called as puberty. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
So let me add that point also. Also, you are able to understand all these terms, all these topics now, right?
Yes, sir.
Because some children might be finding it confusing or like some words to be a bit heavy to understand.
Yes.
You have a school on Fridays, or by the way?
No, sir. Friday and Saturday is off for us.
Oh, okay. So the age at which sex hormones. Later on, we're going to learn about hormones. So there, I will tell you about sex hormones as well. So the age at which sex hormones and sex cells, basically sex cells, we call them as gametes also. We're gonna gametes also begin to be produced. To be produced, and the boy is biologically ready to become a father, and the girl is biologically ready to become a mother. So that is called puberty. We can define puberty in this manner also. All right, now hope that one should
Yes,
have been
sir.
clear to you. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
No? Good. Okay, so that's the thing. Now, if someone asks, like, is puberty and adolescence kind of related to one another or are they different terms? You see, adolescence is basically a broader developmental stage. Like when we talk about adolescence, so you have to talk about the physical changes in the body and the psychological changes in the body also, right? That is occurring between childhood to adulthood. But when you talk about puberty, so puberty will specifically involve the physical changes that will lead to sexual maturity, that will lead to reproductive maturity. Getting how these two are different? When we
Yes,
talk
sir.
about adolescence, so it's only talk, it will be talking about everything. whether it be the physical changes in the body. So when I say physical changes in the body, so it will be talking about the increase in the height, increase in the muscle mass, broadening of the shoulders in the boy, broadening of the hips in the girls, development of the mammary glands in the girls. Then it will talk about the growth of the hair in the body in different parts, right? In the armpits, in the facial hairs in the boys, and in the pubic regions in the both boys and girls. Then it will also talk about the development of the reproductive organs. Getting it? But when we talk
Yes,
about
sir.
puberty, so puberty will only talk about those changes that is leading towards sexual maturity. Right now, that will
Yes,
lead
sir.
towards sexual maturity. That will make them capable of reproduction. So that's the thing. So now we are going to learn about the different type of changes that occurs in the boys and girls, okay, when they are in the age of adolescence. Okay. Now you might have observed that, like particularly in the throat of the boys, there's a little bump visible when they are in the age of like 13 or 14 years. Have you noticed this thing? Hmm. Like,
I don't know.
mhm. Okay. Also, like in some of the girls also this might be visible. In some girls also, it's although rare, but in some of them also it might be visible. Getting it? No,
Yes, sir.
this is basically called as larynx. What is this? Larynx, or also commonly called as the voice box. So as I'm speaking, where is the voice coming from? It's from the
Voice box.
voice box or the larynx, right? So further, what basically happens here when during the age of adolescence, the larynx grows bigger in size, right? The muscles of the larynx grows bigger in size, and that's why there's a little bump visible on the throat, right? And how does the larynx produce a sound? You know, when a drum is beaten, the membrane of the drum vibrates, and then the sound is produced, right?
Yes, sir.
When a drum, like when a tabla is beaten, so the membrane, the skin of the drum, it beats, it vibrates, and the sound is produced now. In the similar manner,
Yes.
when the vocal cords present inside the larynx, when it vibrates, when the air passes across it, so then sound is produced. Like as I'm speaking, right, this is basically the hollow pipe is the trachea. Trachea, you understand, a windpipe? Windpipe.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these are, that is the vocal larynx over here. Larynx is situated over here, and inside the larynx we have the vocal cords. So as I'm speaking right now, so these vocal cords are vibrating, and to the vibration of the vocal cord, sound is produced. So that was some interesting thing about the larynx here. Okay.
Sir, can you show that slide once more?
Yeah, sure. These are cartilaginous structure. These are the cartilaginous structure. As we are speaking right now, so it vibrates and then the sound is produced. Getting it? So one of the observable changes, particularly in the boys, is the change in the voice. Also, this change in the voice in the girls also. We observe that the voice of the boys are deeper and they have a low pitch voice. But as for the girls, they have a shrill voice. They have a high pitch voice. Getting what I'm trying to say? Shrill, you understand? Shrill voice, a deep
Yes,
voice.
sir.
Okay, no?
Yes, sir.
So boys have a deep.
Sir,
Mhm.
there is this one K-pop singer. His voice is so deep. He's very famous for deep voice.
Oh, yeah, like there are so many voice artists who would be giving voiceover to cartoon characters and all that.
Yes, sir.
Mhm. Also, you know, the size of the larynx now, the size of larynx and the vocal cords length and the thickness is different for different people. That's why the quality of the voice of different people is different. Right now, you will rarely find two people having the same kind of voice. Have you ever noticed this thing that two people would be uh, like, it does not happen, right now? It's a very
Yes,
rare
sir.
thing to observe. Okay, although if someone does a mimicry of some.
Even if there are twins, also the voice will be different, right?
Exactly. When twins have different voices, right now. So that's the thing.
Yes, sir.
So during adolescence, so during adolescence, The size.
Sir, what is this?
What is?
What is this?
Oh, which one?
Beside the that's the ear. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's the ear. Like this is not the complete diagram. Okay, that's the ear over here. Okay.
Okay. I
See.
remember.
So during adolescence, the size of the larynx increases, which changes the voice, which changes the voices of boys and
Will it become deep or it will become any one deep or low? I mean, deep or high.
in boys it becomes deep because they have a low pitch voice. Okay, now they have a low pitch voice. Like it can, if a person has a low pitch voice, so it cannot be heard from far away. Getting it now? But you might
Yes, sir.
observe this thing. Like usually, if suppose that a woman is speaking in a room, so the people sitting in the another room can actually hear her voice.
Yes, sir. I have
Getting
a
it?
really high pitch.
Okay, okay. But if a male person is speaking in a room, so the other people in the other room might not be able to hear what he is saying. Okay, so in
Yes,
that
sir.
manner you can understand. So girls, they have a shrill voice. Why?
Really?
Because they have high pitch. Okay, na? High
Okay.
pitch. Later on, when we'll be doing the chapter sound, now we'll be learning about pitch in detail. Like it depends upon the frequency of the sound. Okay, if you have high,
I don't think we have sound.
you must be
Oh, yeah,
having
we
this
do.
chapter. You
We do.
must be
We
having.
do. We
Mhm.
do.
Okay. Also, particularly this Adam's apple is visible only in the boys, not in the girls. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Also, as you will, if you were to move your fingers across your neck and particularly place it over the larynx, you can feel the vibration in it. As we speak, basically it vibrates,
Yes.
right? And what
Yes.
exactly is? It's the vocal cords that's vibrating, and because of which sound is being
Sir,
produced.
that it will open and close when we're talking, right?
Yeah, exactly. As I am speaking right now, so the air from the lungs is moving across it. It's moving.
That looks so good.
So it moves across it, getting it, and
Yes,
that's
sir.
how the because of the vibration of it, the sound is being produced. Now, many times we call this many of the times now we call this little bump on the throat as Adam's apple, but it's based upon a
Sir,
mythical.
why, sir?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Why the name?
let me explain. Let me explain. You have heard about the prophet Adam?
No.
You haven't heard. Okay, Adam and Eve. You haven't studied heard about the story of Adam and Eve, like prophet Adam was expelled from
Sir,
paradise.
I don't know those stories, sir. I'm Hindu.
Okay, okay, no worries. Although it's a very
But I
common, many
only know
people know.
Prophet Muhammad, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Mm. Okay, let me tell you about this one. The term Adam's apple is believed to have originated, like this story is mentioned in the Bible as well. Getting it? So
Okay.
there's a biblical reference to the story of Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve, like as per the Abrahamic religion, they were the first people to have been created. Okay, so God allowed them to
Okay.
live in paradise. They were living in paradise. Getting it? So the
Oh,
God Almighty had actually forbidden them to eat the apple fruit from a tree. It was forbidden for them to eat it. Forbidden, you understand?
okay.
Like they were not allowed to eat the
Allowed to
fruit,
eat it.
right? So eventually, what happened? There was a snake, right? Basically, Satan, basically Saturn came in the form of a snake.
Python.
Yeah, Saturn basically he came in the form of a snake, and he convinced Adam to eat the apple from the forbidden tree. And as he ate it, so it is said that he ate as he ate the apple tree, the apple got stuck in his throat. But it's a myth. Okay, now it's a myth
Okay.
actually. Getting it now. There
That
is
is so stupid, sir.
yeah, that is stupid as well. So it's basically a mythical story. There is nothing to back up this thing. Getting it? It's
Okay,
not
sir.
so accurate. So hence the name came to be Adam's apple. But if we were to
Okay.
study the history, so thereby we find that it is historically it is inaccurate.
That looks
Okay,
so interesting.
exactly right now. Another most important changes that occurs in the boys and the girls during the teenage is that they would be sweating a lot. Sweating,
Oh.
oily skin, right? And they might also
Even.
suffer from acne and pimples. Getting
Sir,
it?
I'm getting so much dandruff, sir.
Yeah, like okay. For that
The
you can
dan
use some good shampoo or like
Sir, I
some
visited dermatologist also, sir. No, nothing.
mhm. Actually, the reasoning behind the dandruff is like the skin from the scalp basically
It
uh,
becomes very dry.
it becomes dry, particularly if your skin is not being hydrated, is not being moisturized properly. Because of it, basically it dries off
But
and
I
it
do
starts
head
to come
bath.
out.
But I do head bath twice a week.
Okay. Okay. Particularly, there might be some condition behind that. Okay, consult your dermatologist.
Sir,
Okay.
I already did.
Is- So did she gave you some medicines like some oil or something?
She gave shampoo. She told not to oil my hair.
Yeah. Also, many times people can get fungal infection in their scalp also, and that can worsen the condition. Right? There can be some circular patches developing on the scalp. In fact, if someone
Sir, for my
suffers
dad,
from
it's there.
oh, many times people
So it's not
may
dandruff.
no, so there are different conditions associated with that. Getting it, no? There are different conditions associated with that. Also, if the dandruff problem is not like cured on time, many times if it becomes very severe, so dandruff problem can also lead to hair loss in people's. Getting it, no? It leads to hair loss also. That's the thing. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
Anyways, getting back to this, another thing we observe is that there is increase in sweat and oil production. Sweat
Oil.
and oil production. Oil, that is basically sebum.
Huh?
Sebum.
What is that?
Okay, basically there's a gland, okay, called as sebaceous gland. It secretes a oily substance on our skin that we call as sebum.
In our hair?
No, not in here. I'm saying generally on our skin. Getting it?
I don't feel oily.
Yeah, but that much of oil is not being secreted. Okay, like enough amount of oil is secreted to keep our skin moist. Okay, keep it moisturized. See what happens during the age of adolescence. There is increase in the production of the sweat and the oil gland. Now the question is like, why there is increase in the production of sweat and the oil gland, right? Because we see that during the age of adolescence, the metabolic activity
Metabolic?
in the body is
So
quite
what is
fast.
metabolic?
Metabolic activity basically refers to the different biological changes, biological reactions that takes place inside our
Okay.
body. Like for
Okay,
example,
okay.
respiration, in which the food is broken down, digestion,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
as we reach the age of puberty, so there is increase in the production of hormones also. Particularly in the boys, there is increase in
So
the
the food will digest faster.
yeah, the rate of digestion is quite good. It's a bit faster than the
Okay.
adults. Sorry, I mean to buy the in comparison to the people who are in their like 40s, 50s, 60s, right? You might see that people of the age of 50s, 60s generally have digestion problem or lots of other problems
Mm.
because
Yeah, they'll have loose motions, diarrhea, everything.
yeah, many things because their metabolism is not good, right? Now,
What is
so
metabolism?
metabolism is basically the different biological reactions, biological changes that takes place inside our body, biological chemical reactions, you can say, right?
Okay.
Like the digestion of food is itself a chemical reaction. The respiration that takes place in our cells, that is also a chemical reaction. So all these we call them as
Metabolism.
metabolism. Yeah. So these
Okay.
metabolism in our body is very good. So
Okay.
that was one thing. Another thing is that during onset means start of something. Onset means start of something. So when the puberty starts, so there is increase in the hormones. Particularly in the boys, there is increased production of testosterone, and as for the girls, there is increased production of estrogen. These are the hormones. These are the sex hormones, particularly.
Okay, present inside us.
Yeah, getting
Okay.
it. present, particularly like not present, but they are released. We should be rather saying, we should be saying that they are released by the reproductive organs. Later on, we will get to know that
Okay.
testosterone is secreted by the testis in the boys. Okay, by the testis in the boys, and the estrogen is secreted by the ovary in the girls. Later on, we're going to learn about that. Getting back to this topic, like I'm basically trying to explain you like why there is increase in the sweat and the oil production during adolescence.
Because of the glands?
Yeah, because glands basically like glands were present, always present since the birth. Those glands were present in the body. The oil and the sweat
That's
gland
why we
were
get
present.
sweat.
Yeah, but why is it that only during the age of adolescence we get more sweat? We
Because more how much increase?
Yeah, because there's increase in the production of hormones, respectively testosterone and estrogen, and these
Okay.
testosterone and estrogen hormones will actually stimulate the sweat and oil glands. What they do? Look here,
They stimulate
stimulate. Stimulate.
means increase.
No, no, stimulate like trigger it basically. Kind of you can say trigger. The hormones will be triggering them. So
Okay,
look where
yes.
I'm pointing. Okay, now look here. This right over here, the sebaceous gland, the one where I am pointing at, this one here,
Uh-huh.
that's the oil gland, also called as sebaceous gland. Then
Okay.
these ones that you see here, no, like this one here,
They look
in
like
the form of
worms.
coil. Yeah, they do look like. Okay. So this basically over here is the sweat gland. In medical terms, we have quite a complex name, but you will only remember this as the sweat gland. And they are very
Sudoriferous gland. Okay. Yes.
uh-huh.
Sudoriferous gland?
Okay, sudoriferous gland, but just memorize them as sweat gland. Okay.
Sweat glands.
Hmm.
Like,
So there are tiny pores on our skin, right? And those tiny pores are actually have got like they are connected all the way to the sweat glands.
sweat glands.
Okay. And just look at how interesting it looks. Hmm? Look at the
Yeah,
different
it
layers
is.
of the skin right now.
Especially the purple color. It's my favorite.
Yeah. Okay. So what happens? The testosterone and estrogen hormones will be triggering them to release more sweat and oil, to release more sweat
Yeah,
and
they'll
oil.
be irritating them.
Hmm? Not irritating, but triggering them. Triggering not in a bad sense, not in the sense like they would be getting like kind of damage or would be getting
They'll
this
get a
this.
knife and be like, sweater, or else I will kill you.
Okay, okay. So what will happen? What will happen? Like when we are in a stressful situation, many times if you see someone in a stressful
Yeah,
situation,
we
they would be
sweat.
sweating, right? Also because of so
Yes.
much of excitement, also sometimes it can happen. Or
Hmm.
we do some increased physical activity, like we are lifting weight, we are running, we are doing some intense physical workout. Then also there's increase in the sweat
Sweat.
production, right? So
But then during puberty, if we don't do anything, also we get sweat.
mhm.
But during puberty, if we don't do anything, also we get sweat.
Yeah, even if you're not doing that much of physical activity, even then there can be increase in the sweat and the oil as
Yes,
well.
sir.
So one of the reason was due to hormones. Another is physical activity, increase in the
Yes, sir.
physical activity. Like you will see that the adolescents
Yes,
are
sir. Can
more
I go to the wash now?
Okay, be back quickly, we
Okay,
have
one
4 minutes
second.
left. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I was saying that one of the reason we understood is increase in the production of hormones, respectively testosterone and estrogen. Then increase in the physical activities. What happens as the adolescence tends to be more active. They'd be walking, like running here and there, playing different kind of sports. So thereby it increases the body's temperature, right? And we know that like our normal body temperature, the normal human body temperature, that is 37 degrees Celsius. So when our body's temperature is around 37 degrees Celsius, so we feel comfortable in this temperature. Right now, our organs are comfortable in this temperature range. But if it increases beyond this, if the body temperature suppose increases to 40 degrees Celsius, so we will feel uncomfortable, right? So we know evaporation gives a cooling effect. Now when evaporation takes place from something, it gives a cooling effect, right or no? When evaporation takes place from something, it gives us a cooling effect. It basically cools down the surface. Suppose for example, there's a hot metal object over here, okay, na? Hot metallic object, and if I pour water over it, let's suppose I pour water over it, so then the water will evaporate, right? And then it will take away the heat from the object here and cools it down. In the similar manner, when we are doing some physical activity, our body's temperature increases. Then we sweat, and as we sweat, the sweat will get evaporated from the skin or not.
Yes, sir.
And as it evaporates, it takes away the heat from our body and brings it back to the normal temperature, that is 37 degrees Celsius. Also, you might have seen that as we do some physical activity, when we sit under the fan or the air condition, normally under the fan, let's say, we feel more colder, right? Because at that time, sweating is also happening and it gets evaporated. Another reason behind increase in the sweat and the oil is because of the increased metabolism, which we discussed in the beginning. As we are seeing that they are in the phase of rapid growth. So when the body is growing rapidly, so their rate of digestion is fast, rate of respiration is fast.